I said I tell my granddaughter that. She told me to tell you hello.
Oh, no doubt. Tell us.
All right. I know why she keeps bugging me about money.
You know why? It's going good, man. Just had a good team meeting. Um, getting the boys locked in for sure. Um,
All right, we'll go ahead and get started.
yeah.
Off our bye week, refreshed, renewed, reinvigorated for the season. Homecoming week, Saturday at 2 o'clock p.m. at Big Price Stadium. We'll open it up with Coach Vick with a opening statement, and then we'll open up for questions.
Yes. Obviously good to be back. We got an opportunity to right the ship. Um, the last couple of weeks, I told our team we just gonna look at it like it was our preseason, and do we like what we've seen in certain areas? Yes and no. But it's an opportunity to grow, get better. I felt like the bye week was uh, at a much needed time, and so that's my first one ever, and really seeing the value in it to be able to reset and figure out like what's next, what we do moving forward. So really excited about this week. Everything starts on though, and our season starts on Saturday. So really looking forward to it.
Coach, there was a lot of speculation around the changes with your defensive staff. Can you kind of give us some clarity on that?
Yeah, it was just changes. Yeah, that's the clarity in it is, changes. We obviously in this game got to look for opportunities to grow and get better and put our players in the best situation possible. And my job as a coach is to, figure that out. So if we got to play musical chairs, that's what we're gonna do. It's not gonna be in a situation where it's sloppy or it don't make sense. It's for us to figure out as a staff. And so, collectively, I feel like, I've been able to make the right decision.
Are there coaches that are no longer with this team?
Yeah, absolutely. There's coaches that are no longer with the team, but that's my job as a leader. And not to say that it hasn't been a success in some areas. It's just what I expect is just far more than what we've been getting so far. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna act like it was things that happened that I didn't like. I expect a certain standard, and so I'm gonna always live by that. And as long as I'm a head coach, I'm gonna make the right decision and do what's best for the team.
Coach Vick, not an ideal start to the season, but our team showed a lot of promise. Fortunately, you're no stranger to thriving through adversity. How do you continue to keep our team around love in these times?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot to play for. I think if we go win the championship, then I don't think we talk about the last 5 games at all. Maybe we do. Maybe we do to stay callous to the things that can potentially happen. I'm excited about us moving forward. I think the players are, and they should be. Our football life consists of ups and downs, and we just got to be able to roll with the punches.
Coach, can you clarify who's not with you guys anymore?
I spoke on it. We trying to move forward in the right fashion. I think this week is most important. Just getting to the game, seeing how our guys react. Just getting a good feel for what we do well and what we don't do well. My decision was to make sure that moving forward, I know exactly what we need to be successful as a program.
You said the bye week at the right time. I mean, it is kind of cool that it's right before your 5 conference games where you guys can have this reset going into, I guess, what many would consider the most important part of your schedule.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's evaluation time, and I think we're all under evaluation heavily, heavy scrutiny, week to week. But that's the expectations that you got to have in football, and not to say everything is subject to change every week. Is that when you have a moment and you see an opportunity to potentially make change, you do it at the right time. What's done is done. I look forward to, what's going to happen next, and to continue to evaluate. That's my job as a head coach.
Speaking of looking forward, are you and your coaching staff optimistic about recruiting other up-and-coming talents in the past 7 years?
Yeah, in terms of recruiting, I feel like we got a great chance of pulling in anybody. Well, not anybody, I understand our circumstances, but we're gonna be right there knocking at the door. That's our job as coaches, is to try to bring in the best talent possible. And so, obviously coming in, you got to, it's a standard that we continue to try to uphold. It's a culture that we're going to continuously try to build, and that's what's important.
What's the reaction from players to staff and
My players are going to follow me in everything I do. They, thrive off my energy. If it's something that I'm, enthused about, or it's something that I feel good about, then they're going to follow. They're going to trust it. And so our energy was high yesterday. We excited about moving forward. And, football is football, man. We can't overcomplicate it or, make it less complicated. We go out there, we do what we do, man, and we'll get the results that we're supposed to get.
What were some of the focuses in the week? Did you guys try anything different, and what kind of progress did you see?
I was just more so about just evaluating everything that's happened up to this point, and just to go back and look at it. I'm pretty sure, if anybody in here was ever, to be a part of in this position, you would evaluate on a daily basis. Got to sit here and, answer to the critics, deal with the scrutiny, and everybody deals with that. Everybody deals with that in their own way. My job is to prevent it from actually happening. Not to say that it's not going to happen, but it is what it is. I got to minimize it. I got to minimize it. I got to protect, the players. I got to protect coaches. We all have, a state that we can go into that can affect our mental health. So football can do that in so many ways, on and off the field. So it's my job to protect that as well, keep the sanity, keep the clarity, and make sure that everybody's in good standards when it's all said and done.
Coach, 2 weeks ago you said you were going to work more with the defense. How has that been over the past 2 weeks?
I said I was going to work more with the defense.
You did, yeah.
Oh, well, obviously it ain't working. I mean,
I was lying, right?
did I really say that?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you trying to get me fired, man. Come on, man. Come on.
I just mean,
Come on, man.
The report was that I spent more time with the defense.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure.
I mean,
I'm
like,
just
coaches
pulling that
lie.
up. Yeah, I mean, but I try to. I certainly try to. Do I know everything about defense? No, absolutely not. Can I read the defense? Can I dissect the defense? Yeah. Do I know what's coming at our offense and how to exploit it? Yes. Do I know defensive schemes and how to stop an opposing offense? In certain cases, no. But, in watching all the film that I watch, and now I'm learning to watch both sides of the ball, I'm learning, which is the fun part of it. It's the fun part of it, it's the cool part of it, but not by any means necessary. I would not try to become an expert at defense. I think that's why we put the right people in those positions and trust them. So, yeah, but I did try to spend some time trying to help and self-correct, but, obviously it didn't work.
How tough is it to make decisions like that? You're the first time head coach. So I heard they changed.
Yeah, being the first year head coach, having to make, the decision that I made, it wasn't easy, man. Like, it really wasn't. And nor did I ever think that I would be making a decision like that mid-season. Like, you look in the crystal ball and you see all the good things, but I would have never thought that I would see, what I've seen so far. But it's been a hell of an experience, up until this point, and I will say this: I'm enjoying every minute of it, and I'm growing every day, and I'm helping people grow, and hopefully the decisions that I made will help all of us grow, and people are laying on their feet, and it's a great learning experience. Experience is the best teacher.
You mentioned evaluation of yourself as a head coach for 6 weeks. What have you learned the most, and what do you think you can probably do better at as the head coach?
Yeah, what I learned the most, I mean, is that when we go out on the field, whether it's practice or in the game, I'm responsible for a lot of things that go on, and I got to take sole responsibility for the things that happen. What I would, continue to want to do better is just be great in the decision-making department. Whether it's a player, whether it's, with staff, whether it's with coaches. I got to continue to make the right decisions, and so, I take heavy responsibility in that. That won't change. I never waver from that, and as long as I'm in a position of leadership, I'm gonna continue to lead.
I'm sure you remember from your playing days, Coach. Just you guys, the coach speak is approach every game the same, but do you notice the kind of the increase in juice once conference play hits? Is there a little bit more, added fuel for that?
Yeah, now that we're in conference play, I mean, this is where our season lies. Like, we got a chance to go and win it all. It's anybody's ball game. I think it's 6 very talented teams. And look, we got to go head to head. And so everybody's having success, had some form of success, and now we get to face each other. So here it is. This is where the chips fall.
2 questions.
What does South Carolina State do well?
What do South Carolina State do well?
Yeah.
I think on the offensive side of the ball, I think they have a quarterback who's patient. Have a good receiver. Steady in the run game. They're not going to do a lot of things fancy, but they're going to come right at you. Defensively, I think they got a strong defensive front. I think they got, athletic guys, in the back end. And so, it's going to be a good test for us, in terms of, how far we've come and the competition we've played, the teams that we've faced. And so, hopefully everybody had a chance to look at the film, which is what we push, correct the mistakes, and now go play some, mistake-free football, in a perfect world.
Coach, speaking about media and critics, do you ever get tired of answering the same question? Having professionalism on camera. How do you deal with it? What would you just like to say?
Yeah, I mean, I've been on both sides of it, man. You know what I mean? I guess now I can say all 3 phases of it. I've been a player, I've been in the media, and now I sit here as a coach. And so I know exactly what comes along with this. I knew at some point it was going to be a question about, the coaching changes and things of that nature, But, this is what happens when you put yourself in these positions. And, I was, one of the guys who was on your side and asking the questions and looking for feedback and looking for answers. So I try to give you, what you need in order for you to be sustainable. But at the same time, man, this is football. I love it. I plan on being in this for a long time. And, it comes with a hell of an amount of responsibility and sometimes harsh realities, man. But, when you love it, you fight for it. So that's what I do until my last day.
We have embraced you as our head coach. Are you planning on being a coach long term, or will we have to wait for that?
I plan on being a coach long term. I plan on being a coach for the long. Every day, I feel like I grow on the role. Every day, I just love it more and more. I love the energy the players bring, win or lose. I'm dedicated. I love when we win. I hate when we lose. But it's something about the hurt when we lose and the burning desire that gives me that feeling that I had when I played. And so, scratching that itch is something that I thought I would never feel again, when I went into media. And now I get a chance to feel it, whether good or bad. And, it's just a part of me. It's what I do. It's in my DNA.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Coach.
it.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Next week we're on